WKRN, Knight Ridder Broadcasting, Nashville. Now, the Mid-South's first evening newscast with Ann Holt, Bob Mueller, Tom Siler's weather, and sports with Bob Bell. This is Channel 2 News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to our new home. Some call it progress.
To others, it's a homeowner's nightmare. The problem? Noise. Not just any noise, but the roar of arriving and departing jets at the Metro Airport. Channel 2's Dagny Stewart is standing by live to tell us that a lot of people have just about had it.
And we're at the observation deck at the Metro Nashville Airport at one of the busiest times of day. People who live near this airport say officials have broken their promise. A promise to do something about the noise that all of these planes are generating. This is what the people of Donaldson are living with every day. And since American Airlines began a mini hub operation last week, the flights are even more frequent. Airport officials have promised to work with neighbors on a plan to reduce the noise. But Paulette Osborne, who represents a neighborhood group called Noise, says the noise reduction plan still hasn't started.
I have a letter from General Moore stating that it had been approved by the FAA and would be implemented in April. Needless to say, we're very disappointed.
The assistant air traffic manager says he was never aware of any promises or a deadline on the noise problem. But by June 1st, David Garrett believes the final noise reduction program can be started. Nevertheless, he points out that the noise is not going to magically disappear.
If you take the noise from one place, it's going to go someplace else.
By June 1st, Garrett says many planes will be using an alternate runway at night, and pilots will be asked to turn away from residential areas. Garrett believes these measures will give airport neighbors some relief.
The people on the north side of the airport will see a tremendous improvement, especially when we go into the new terminal.
Even with the noise reduction plan, there will still be hundreds of homes subjected to unusually high levels of noise. Osborne believes the airport should buy out some of those homeowners. If they don't, she believes some homeowners will file lawsuits.
They're not following through with their promises. And if they can't, then obviously some neighbors have no other course but to go to court.
The threat of lawsuits is very real. One group is even threatening a class action suit on behalf of all of the affected homeowners. What they want is either to have their homes bought out or to be compensated for a loss in property values. And
a long battle could be shaping up, Dagny. Thank you. Bob?
And officials in Mount Juliet have finally broken ground on their long-awaited and controversial sewage system. And they say the system will open the door for future development. Mayor Wayne Crawford was on hand for the ceremony today. Crawford says Mount Juliet is as close to the new American Airlines hub operation as downtown Nashville. Crawford explained that the sewage system was essential because of major growth expected as an offshoot of the new hub and its impact on the area's economy. He said not only will the new system give better service to the people of Mount Juliet, it will prepare the city for the future. There's a controversy brewing in another Wilson County community.
And Bob, some say it's progress, others say it could be dangerous to their health. Channel 2's Melissa Penry says at issue in Watertown is a new apartment complex.
Bob and Ann, there's some very upset homeowners in Watertown tonight. They say the proposed Backwith apartments could cause serious damage to their homes and possible injury to their children. Developers are hoping about 4 acres of this land in the western part of Watertown will become a 24-unit apartment complex for low to moderate income people. But before building, this area would have to be blasted. The land used to be owned by Virginia Phillips' grandfather. She says it's pretty rocky terrain.
And where blasting has been done in this town, I have been in homes here and seen where it has, cracked the walls and all. And that's nothing to what this rock is here in this area.
The problem is this limestone. It runs in a vein under the homes here, and area residents fear blasting the rock would be dangerous.
My kids only have this yard to play in. They have not as yet told us how we're going to keep them safe. We've called up representatives of the government and asked them, would they be safe in our yards? They have told us that there's a possibility that they will not be safe in our house.
About 200 Watertown residents have signed petitions opposing the apartment complex. And a 1990 land use plan for Watertown advised no development on the land, shown in green. But developers say precautions would be taken, residents would be notified, and a specialist would be in charge. Residents also wonder if Watertown can handle the extra demand on the water and sewer system from the proposed complex, and if the land in question has been properly zoned for the development. We tried to talk to some city officials today, but were unable to do so. And the Watertown Planning Commission will be discussing this proposal tonight, and we'll have an update at 10.
Perhaps some solutions will come out of that meeting tonight, Melissa.
Possibly.
Thank you. Bob?
Well, in Murray County, future home of the Saturn Auto plant, officials are trying to nip growth problems in the bud. The Murray County Commissioners voted today to adopt a county-wide zoning plan. The vote capped months of often bitter debate. Opponents said residents should be able to use their own land the way they wanted. But supporters maintained zoning plans was needed to control growth.
I'm very pleased for the citizens of Murray County. I think in the long run this will be something that will help the growth of this county, protect the citizens, and just not let things run totally out of control.
The vote to approve zoning was 15-5. The new ordinances cover Murray County's unincorporated areas and will go into effect after they're printed in a local newspaper.
And coming up, we'll tell you about the latest ways some people are predicting their success or failure in college.
And later, a look at some tiny but special medical miracles.
Say so long to tough chicken. And say hello to tender, juicy chicken at a great price. Come into Kentucky Fried Chicken right now for 9 pieces of original recipe chicken plus 4 fresh buttermilk biscuits, just $6.49. It's our bargain bucket. So why settle for some tough bird when you can save on chicken that's tender and juicy? Kentucky Fried Chicken's bargain bucket, just $6.49.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Casnernaut introduces the biggest moonlight sale of the century. Not just a little sale at a single store, but one big, incredible blast of savings at every Nashville Casnernaut. Tuesday only, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. The moonlight sale at all Nashville Casnernaut stores. Don't miss it. It won't be back for a long, long time.
This is your home-owned Horner Roush Optical Superstore. If you've ever waited a week to get your glasses, you know our in-store lab means most prescriptions can be completed in an hour. We offer service as well as selection and a free 1-year guarantee.
Horner Roush has an in-store lab, and I was in a hurry to get my glasses, and within an hour they were finished and I was ready to go. If I needed an eye examination, there was a doctor next door.
Bring us your prescription, or you can get an eye examination with a doctor located next door. Horner Roush Optical Superstores, Main Street, Rivergate, and now open in Hickory Hollow.
It's the Spring Spectacular of Homes presented by Randall Phillips Builders and Phil Hall Corporation. Dare to compare with 8 beautiful locations to choose from. Compare price, compare amenities, compare quality. Like the Whirlpool energy-efficient heating and cooling system you'll find in every Randall Phillips and Phil Hall home. See today's paper for Nashville's finest locations during the Spring Spectacular of Homes. You always get the most value for your money with a Randall Phillips and Phil Hall home.
Success or failure?
Is there a way to know beforehand how likely it is that your child will finish college? Well, a new study released by the Tennessee Higher Education Commission says there is. Channel 2's Jill McSweeney has the story.
The key, according to the Higher Education Commission, is high school achievement test scores, commonly referred to as ACTs. The study shows the higher the score, 35 being tops, the more likely a student will be to persevere through college, a point some we talked to took issue with this afternoon.
It has no way of measuring your perseverance or what your goals will be.
My best friend through high school came out with a very high score, like a 29, and didn't end up graduating high school. And so I don't think it speaks too much. Just how you probably deal in a testing situation.
The study also indicated the lower a score, the tougher it will be for a student to get through college classes. and that if he does graduate, it will probably take longer than someone with a higher score.
While they've been used for counseling about admissions in the past, now we can look at it more clearly and counsel students about the likelihood that they'll be able to survive and to stay in college.
Even though the ACT score may be a good predictor, one college admissions officer said today it should never be taken as the bottom line, because one thing it doesn't measure is motivation, and that can be just as important in determining whether someone will finish college. Jill McSweeney, Channel 2 News.
Some Tennessee teachers say they don't like it, but they'll give it another year before they work to get it repealed. The 1,400 members of the Tennessee Education Association say they want to see significant improvements in the state's career ladder program. The group says if the state does not improve the merit pay plan, the TEA will start lobbying to get the law repealed next year. Bob?
Physicians say it's the single most important advance in medical care in 10 to 15 years. Breakthroughs in treating premature babies account for thousands of lives being saved each year. In tonight's 2-Year Health Report, our medical reporter Deborah St. George has the first of 2 stories on the latest in neonatal care. Deborah?
Well, Bob, what's happening now is that physicians are creating environments for premature babies which are much more like the mother's womb than ever before. Infants who didn't have a chance 10 to 15 years ago are now growing into normal, healthy children. Now, some who survive will have problems, but for the most part, this is a story of success. They are born as early as 4 months premature, so small and so weak they seem barely alive.
They're too immature to even know how to suck and swallow and breathe at the same time.
So machines do that for them, acting as an artificial womb. There are temperature controls, special nutrients fed intravenously, and ventilators like the hummingbird, vibrating tiny lungs 900 times a minute.
To help the baby get through those days or weeks until the lungs are ready to work on their own.
The staff inside neonatal intensive care is impressive, an average of 1 nurse per patient and about half a dozen doctors on duty.
Newborn special care and perinatal care probably represent the single most important advance in medical care delivery in the last 10-15 years.
Benjamin was born at Vanderbilt 2.5 months premature.
I felt like the statistics were in our favor and that he would pull through.
Benjamin is pulling through but has chronic lung disease and still breathes on a respirator. Benjamin is like many premature babies. Some have lung disease, some may be blind or mentally retarded. This has raised questions in the medical community. Are physicians saving babies too young to survive, or ones who will go on to have too many problems?
At the beginning, you can't pick out which one will not benefit from a treatment, and therefore we feel morally obligated to provide this care for every baby that we think is a potential intact survivor.
Bob, tomorrow we are going to visit Benjamin Berry's family in Orlinda, and you know, he's had a real tough start because he was born so prematurely, but we're going to show you how his family, along with doctors at Vanderbilt, are giving him the best shot possible at growing up healthy.
My brother was premature. I know how important this care can be. More tomorrow night.
That's right.
And coming up on Channel 2 News, Mother Nature runs amok in East Tennessee.
And Tom says it's time to get out the blankets again.
I've got muscle. My Snapper lawn tractor. It has the power to cut tall, heavy grass down to size.
I keep my house clean. Snapper's High Vac keeps my lawn clean, just like my vacuum. So the most work I do is empty the twin bag catcher.
I have a big appetite. So does my Snapper. I can feed its wagon 30 bushels of grass at one sitting. It's a snap with Snapper.
Peva House Lumber Company, Linden, Coble Furniture Center, Lewisburg.
The wonder and excitement of a visit to Old MacDonald's farm.
With a moo-moo here, and an oink-oink there, here a trick, everywhere a trick.
Now your child can experience the fun of a country visit with every McDonald's Farm and Barn Happy Meal. A whimsical farm world unfolds and comes to life in a child's imagination. There are 7 little farm characters in all, one in every McDonald's Happy Meal.
Now McDonald's has a farm.
E-I-E-I-O.
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
And now it's time for our exclusive Sky High traffic report. Thanks, Bob. Well, it's bumper to bumper down.
A lot of Nashville radio stations give you the impression that they have airborne traffic reports.
Running into a little turbulence,
But only one has the real thing.
Richard Thomas, WSM Flight 650.
Nashville's only airborne traffic reports are on WSM Radio 650. Who are you going to trust? Richard Thomas or the other guy?
Yes, sir. Nobody up here but us ducks.
Good. Here's my York rebate check for $100. I got it when I bought this all-new York heat pump. This York heat pump is so advanced, it has a computer brain and a built-in memory. You can have one, too, plus a $100 rebate. Look.
Foster Engineering is Nashville's oldest York dealer. The quality of their work speaks for itself. Call Bill Newell or Joe Brown at Foster Engineering. Foster is a TVA-certified contractor.
York, the only system with a brain, a memory, and a $100 rebate.
Tom and I have been counting our blessings. I guess Middle Tennessee got off pretty lightly this weekend.
We got off pretty lightly in two ways. We didn't have any wind damage, but we also didn't get much rain on the old begonias.
And we needed that.
We sure do. We're 11 inches below normal for the year. Let me take you to near Chattanooga, where there was not much more rain, and there was also a lot more destructive power out of the storm. This is Jasper. That's just up the road about 30 miles or so northwest of Chattanooga. Now, crews have worked through the night and most of today restoring electrical power out there. Several families stayed with neighbors after their homes sprung leaks or were damaged. The twister cut an erratic 3/4-mile swath about 6:30 our time last night, 2 miles east of that southeast Tennessee town. And as we mentioned, there were some injuries, property damage. And while we did get off light that way, we also missed the rain very, very badly. Now, normally, March and April are rainiest months, and it's going to turn cold also. And that brings us around to this gentleman. We're going out to Opryland, where the horticulturist out there, Ben Moore, I suppose is waiting more or less with crossed fingers. Some lovely, lovely plants behind you, Ben. Now, we expect about 38 tonight, but tomorrow night, 32 degrees. What preparations are you making for that?
Tom, we're prepared, we hope. We don't have to cover plants such as these azaleas because they're under trees and they're tough enough to take it anyway. However, we are worried about annuals such as these begonias, which we've covered with scrim and have propped up on pegs, wired and taped down, and we hope that this will be sufficient. I suppose tonight they won't hurt, but as you say, tomorrow night could be bad for them. We've covered about everything we can cover here.
Okay, Ben. Well, again, as we said, 38 degrees, plenty of wind tonight, so I don't expect any problem tonight. But tomorrow night, the winds will be dying off in about 32. Let's take a look at our almanac today and see what we had. It was a cloudy, moody day and a high of only 59. Last night down to 46. Our sunset tonight at 6:25. Tomorrow morning, sunrise at 5:05 and just 0.12 of an inch of rain. Now in Nashville, our skies are partly sunny, breaking out of the clouds, some 52. Our humidity is 83%, northwesterly winds at 6, and the barometer is rising. Well, as we mentioned, while we did get off light, as far as the wind damage, golly, we sure need the rain. Now, while Ben was talking about the danger of frost to his begonias and the perennials out there, there's another danger. If we don't start getting some rain out of these clouds, we are going to be in dire straits as far as all of the truck farms and the gardens and yards around mid-Tennessee. Right now, new satellite pictures centered over the southeast, and we have unstable air, and that just means that while we did take in some heat today, some of that's escaping. There's cold air aloft, and these clouds are going to be reluctant to break out. As a matter of fact, we could expect even another shower as the evening goes along. There's a large center of clearing. That's high pressure spilling out of the central part of Canada. That'll bring with it cold air. Our record for tomorrow night is 32, going back about 30 years, and I think there's more than a 50-50 chance we'll eclipse that. As far as the rainfall tonight, just a short time ago, showers and thunderstorms running through North Georgia on into the eastern seaboard from Norfolk to New York City. Again, these showers moving away from us, but because the air is unstable, we could have a drizzle or a sprinkle overnight, but I guarantee you there isn't going to be any significant rainfall in there overnight. On the surface, and again, what we have will just be gradual surges of colder air during the next 48 hours. Now, normally at this time of the year, we're getting up close to 48 or 50 degrees, so So much below normal temperatures spreading around this center of high pressure north of Minneapolis-St. Paul. Tomorrow's forecast map, the rains move on to the east. We'll see maybe a straggling shower tomorrow morning, but the big news in the weather business for tomorrow night is going to be just how chilly it's going to get. And again, frost follows the line where the coldest air is, that it will sink to the valleys, and the coldest air will also be in the mountains in the Cumberland Plateau. Then we expect another system. Our next chance at rain could come by next Friday night. Here's our specific forecast for tonight. We're calling for mostly cloudy, and that will help cap in what little heat we did bring in today, but cool for the season. Our low tonight, about 38 degrees. Notice the winds. That's important also. That'll mix up the air, and we shouldn't have any frost anywhere in the viewing area tonight. Low tonight, 38. Tomorrow's forecast, we're calling for partly cloudy, cool. Then by tomorrow afternoon, about 2 o'clock, the skies start clearing out. The winds die off. A high of only 53, and tomorrow night, 32, and that is enough for frost. That is even enough north and west of Nashville and also in the Cumberland Plateau for a light frost. 5-day forecast. Are we going to warm up quickly, though, by Wednesday and Thursday? Nice warming breezes out of the south, and by Thursday, 80 degrees. So, as I said, last cool snap. I guarantee this is the last cool snap of the season.
I hope it is, because my plants have made it so far. Let's keep your fingers crossed for me.
We're hoping so. We're hoping so.
Okay. I'm going to bring that up because you said that was it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you did.
Well,
really
a little surprise here.
Okay. And coming up on Channel 2 News, the latest on Air Jordan.
And in Boston, they run for glory and money.
Brought to you by Arby's Roast Beef Restaurants.
It's Arby's Chicken Challenge. How good is Arby's Chicken Sandwich? Take just one bite. If you don't think it's better than Wendy's or Burger King's, it's your money back. If one bite of Arby's specially breaded all-natural filet on our toasted poppy seed roll doesn't taste better than any other chicken sandwich, it's your money back. Guaranteed.
When you buy an Arby's chicken breast sandwich, you'll get a golden egg. Inside is a coupon good for a free special breakfast platter or croissant for a limited time at participating Arby's.
Ring, looking through the pages. Ring, the real yellow pages. Ring, South Central Bell Yellow Pages.
Painted hatchet. Now you're talking. Let your fingers do the walking.
Ring, down through the pages. Ring, looking through the pages. Ring, look in the real yellow pages.
Shout it, socking. Now you got it.
South Central Bell, the real yellow pages. South Central Bell, the real yellow pages. Pontiac.
Now, it's easy to get Pontiac excitement when you buy by numbers. As low as 6.9 annual percentage rate GMAC financing on any new Fiero, including GT, and as low as 7.9% on any other new Pontiac road machine. Other rates are available and will be higher as length of contract increases. 6.9, 7.9. But hurry, act by June 30th or you can kiss these low rates bye-bye.
Act by June 30th, or you can kiss these low rates bye-bye.
Sunbeam bread. You mean so much to me. Because you care.
You know, when it comes to amateur sporting events, there are a few left, and today we lost another one.
I'm not sure there are any left when you get right down to it. The Boston Marathon, remember when it used to be strictly amateur?
Bucks now.
Big cash on the line, and cars. The Boston Marathon used to be a sort of run-for-fun event. Well, the big money hit the race today, which was the 90th edition of this American event, but neither winner is from this country. The mass of humanity at the start, but it doesn't take long for the run-for-fun crowd to fade, then the pros take over. It was a strong, fast pace. The winner, Rob DiCastella. He predicted he would win, and the Australian took the early lead. He lost it briefly on 2 occasions. But near the end, he turned it on when the record was within reach. DiCastella, in record time, 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 50 seconds. He wins $55,000 on a new Mercedes-Benz. The winner among the women, again the favorite, Ingrid Christensen of Norway. For her, a new car and $30,000. Christensen was unchallenged, but Nadi Castella Baloo of Canada was second.
I found the last few miles pretty hard out there by myself and not really knowing what was happening behind me. So I was pleased to cross the finish line. The first part is so fast because the first 6 miles is downhill, and I felt that I was running pretty comfortably, so I thought I'd just keep it going.
The woman missed the record by about 2 minutes, her own record, by the way. Michael Air Jordan, he is the talk of the sports world today. Yesterday, in the double overtime loss for the Chicago Bulls to the Boston Celtics, he had 63 points. That breaks the record, the old mark of 61 held by Elgin Baylor. But for Jordan, the loss to the Celtics overshadowed the record.
I'm happy with my individual performance, but overall, I wanted the team to win. I think it was very imperative that we win one there. But, we still got a chance to win the series.
It came down to the last seconds of regulation. Boston was in deep, serious foul trouble. It was my inclination that you go for the tie and you go into overtime and win and get some of their big guns out.
No, when I went for the three-pointer, Coach said, hey, we got a chance to do it now, do it then. And, DJ went past me. I had the open shot, and I went up for the shot. Fortunately, I got fouled, so we were sitting in the overtime.
Well, in baseball today, Detroit beat Boston. That game's always played in connection with the marathon in Boston, and Detroit beat them today 5-4. Coles with a home run for the Tigers. Boggs and Rice hit round trippers for the Red Sox. National League Chicago, and raining and cold there today. St. Louis and the Cubs rained out all the other action tonight, and the Sounds have this night off. I was trying to find out what the price of a Mercedes-Benz is, and I asked everybody in the newsroom, and they said, what?
A Mercedes,
so
I think it's about
a lot of money,
50
though.
or 60 grand just for the left tire.
He did all right.
Okay, Bob. Hey, coming up on Channel 2 News, it's Out with the Old.
And In with the New. Stay with us.
As you know, since Granddad passed away, I've been wanting to meet some new friends and to find a place where I don't have to worry about cooking or repairs or being alone. So your mother and I found a wonderful place. It's called Park Place. Here, let me show you.
What's Park Place?
It's a retirement center, honey.
A retirement center?
It's a lovely place with beautiful apartments that I rent by the month.
Is it nicer than your old house?
Oh, much nicer.
There's 24-hour security and exercise classes, weekly maid and laundry service, and lots of activities.
Oh, here's a picture of the van. I don't need my old car anymore. And here's our chapel. And here's the dining room. I get 3 home-cooked meals a day. Or I can cook in my kitchen if I want. But with such delicious food and good company, why eat alone?
Can I come and visit you at Park Place, Grandma?
Anytime, honey.
Park Place Retirement Center. Call today for a free tour.
Follow the tape to the little yellow house for thinner dinners and lighter lunches. Like Mrs. Winter's scrumptious shrimp and crab salad, teeming with whole shrimp and smothered by juicy pieces of crab. Or our light and chunky chicken salad, packed with celery, onions, and delicious chunks of chicken. Outrageous. Try Mrs. Winter's new thinner dinners and lighter lunches, and watch your waist disappear.
Your Majesty, I must leave.
Cinderella, what's the hurry?
I'm going to Opryland tomorrow, and I need an early start to see...
Not to worry. I've got tickets good for 3 consecutive days at Opryland. 3 days to see all the big sparkling shows, the rides, the shops. 1 ticket gives you 3 times the good times at Opryland.
Okay, I'll stay.
Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Do you know what these are? These are trinkets, and I'm the prince.
Coming up on Channel 2 News tonight at 10, Dr. Dean Adele will explain why health insurance companies are often penny-wise and pound-foolish when it comes to treatment of lung cancer and tobacco-related diseases. And we'll report on the local effort to replace flight attendants at Trans World Airlines, who are still walking picket lines in a 7-week strike. And finally, you probably noticed that our Channel 2 newsroom is a little bit different.
After 6 weeks of renovation, welcome to our new home. And here's a look at how it all happened.
hallway out there. It seemed like it took a little longer than that to get this thing built.
A lot longer than 40
We
seconds.
thank you for joining us at 5. Peter Jennings at ABC World News Tonight is next. We'll see you back here at 10.
Good evening.